Hello everybody, I'm coming to you today because I have been having a series of dreams lately, and I know a lot of people are like, oh, don't pay too much attention to your dreams, what have you ate before you went to bed, la, 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 la. But even in the Bible it says that dreams can be visions. So it's been on my mind, it's been not even my mind, it's been on my heart for the past week, and I've had about 3 or 4 dreams in the past week or so that have kind of weighed on me a little bit, and I have to tell you about it because it's I can't even when I start explaining this you'll understand why I have to tell you. Okay, so my first dream was, first of all, I was praying. I've been praying a lot lately, and I've been trying to get closer with God, as in, like, when I pray, I'm like, tell me what you want me to do, because I, as a human, have no idea. I can read the Bible front to back and still have no idea, other than the fact that you want me to spread love. That's it. That's all that I know how to do. And so I had a dream, and after I had prayed, and it was basically, my first dream was that I was on top of the mountain, and I was there with my significant other. They didn't have a face. The face kept changing. The way that I felt about the person kept changing, but I knew that they were my significant other. On a flat space, sort of flat space down the hill, was a trailer and a fire pit. And my significant other tells me to go down to the fire pit with him because his friend is there. And we go down to the fire pit, and we're there with his friend, and his friend has blonde, super blonde, pale hair, a type of blonde I've never seen, especially in an adult. It's the type of blonde that you see in children, especially, like, when I was a baby, I was born bald, but the little pieces that you could see were very, very pale, bright, blonde, almost white color. They weren't yellow, it was white. Okay, and his eyes were a turquoise color, but a turquoise I've never seen before. It was like neon and glowing, and the ring around it was like very, very, very bright. It's I've never seen this color in anybody's eyes before. It was just the brightest turquoise. It wasn't blue, it wasn't green, it was turquoise. I don't know how many times I cannot even explain the color of the eyes. But I immediately felt something in my heart towards this person, and I couldn't help but to stare at him, and I could tell that my significant other was getting a little jealous. And I told my significant other, there's no reason to be jealous. It's not like that. It's not like I want to be with him in that way. I just can't help but to be in awe of him. And my significant other just had to understand, and if he didn't, he'd have to go away. So my significant other's friend, the one that I was in awe of, smiled at me when I had this thought, because I didn't say it out loud. I just had the thought that I don't want to be with you sexually. I just want to be with you, if that makes sense. I just want to be with that person, not in a romantic way or in a I have to have you in a sexually desirable way, but just like I have to be in your presence type of way. And as soon as I had thought that in my mind or felt that, the person stood up and looked down on me and just smiled, and I could just feel that he was smiling at me in a loving way, that, like, you understand, and I know that you understand, so I'm going to show you something. So he was like, do you trust me? And I said, of course I do. Just without question. I had just met this person, but I felt like I've known him my entire life. And he, like, knew inside of him, like, look, okay, what I'm saying is, you can think that you know someone. You can think that you really, really, really know someone, and you still do not completely know them. You're not in their head every day. You're not in their heart. You're not in their soul. You don't know them as well as you think you know them. But this person, I knew him. Like, I was in his head, like I was in his soul, like I was in his heart. I knew this person. So when he asked me, do you trust me? I said, of course I do. And he held his hand out, and I immediately took it. And when I took it, it just felt like warmth. Like, I cannot, like, not just physical warmth, but emotional warmth. Like love. It felt like love when I touched his hand. And he said, I think you understand, or he knew that I understood. A lot of my dreams are abstract, as in, like, I can see and hear things, but there's a lot that goes into play that I'm not using my five senses for, that I just know. Like, in some of my dreams, I'm going down the same road, but it looks different, but I know that it's the same road. Or someone's face and voice and personality can be completely different, but I know that it's someone else, type thing. It's like that. So he's like, I'm gonna show you something. And then he brings me to the side of the trailer. And on the side of the trailer, it's like this brick wall or concrete wall or something. It's completely flat, and there's a bunch of scribbles on it, like someone just messed it up. And there's a bunch of scribbles all over it, and it just looks like a black hole, like not a space black hole, but just like because they scribbled so much. And he said, can you read this? And at first I was confused, and I was like, how would I be able to read this, like this mess? And then he was all like, he said something like, just, look at the wall and focus and tell me what it says. And I did what he said, and I did it. Yes, at first I hesitated just because I was confused. But after he gave me the feeling of trust again to remind me that I trusted him. And he was like, if you trust me, you'll be able to do whatever I tell you to do. And I was like, okay. So I just looked at the wall, and he said, be still and read it. So I backed up a little bit, and I just stood there, and I let my body go in my dream, but it's kind of like when you zone out. So I forced myself to zone out, and it was really quickly. Like, I knew how to do, like, I've done this so many times before. And I had zoned out, and I stared at the wall, and I started seeing words pop up out of the wall. And it was so crazy because it was like sentences in, like, all over the wall, like words and sentences, and they would light up. Like, you know how you have firecrackers, or not firecrackers, but sparklers during, like, fireworks season, New Year's, 4th of July, birthdays, stuff like that. You got these sparklers, and you can write your name in it. It looked kind of like that, but it glowed. It glowed and moved. Like, the words would move, and then they would go dark, and then a new word would pop up, and a new sentence would pop up somewhere else. And sometimes a new sentence would come over the old sentence after it had gone dark. So it was like it was continuously changing. And with the wall, it like glowed a bright golden color. I was gonna say yellow, but it wasn't yellow, like this is yellow. No, it was golden. Like, it looked like gold was coming, and gold was just glowing out of the wall. And it said, the first sentence I saw was either he or Jesus, but it's kind of interchangeable because it's the same message. But it said, Jesus is coming soon. He is love. And it said quite a few other things, but it was going super fast, and in dream state so many things can happen and you just forget them. But it said a few other things that was happening around the sentences, and it was going so quickly that I didn't catch everything. But when I had read everything on the wall, I could feel, even though this person was next to me and he was holding my hand, I wasn't looking at him, but I could feel that he was smiling. Like, you get it, you can see it, like, this is how I can tell who's with me and who's not. Then I woke up. I thought it was crazy. I told my boyfriend about it, or my fiance about it, and whatever. Then the next night I had prayed, because I was thinking about fasting, and I had prayed about, like, how long should I fast for, how long should I fast for, because everybody does it different. Some people will do it for 20 hours a day and eat for 4 hours of the day, or they won't eat at all for 3 days, or 10 days, 20 days, they'll only drink water and tea and liquids, or some people won't drink anything but water. How do you want me to do this? What will please you? That is what I prayed about. And then I had a dream that following night. It was either I think that my prayers, I got confused or mixed, but I pray every day, or I try to pray every day constantly. I try to. It doesn't always work out that way, but that's what I try to do. I may have prayed about like what will please you before the fasting prayer, because the fasting prayer goes with my last dream. But my other prayer was, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? Whatever you want me to do, I will do it. You just have to tell me what you want, because I have no idea. You have to tell me. I need to know. And that night I had a dream, and I remembered that in my dream there was me and there was a man. I know this man in real life. I know who he is. And this man was my first love. And it was the first person that I felt in love with, not the first person that felt love for me, or that I had a relationship with, or even that I had sex with, but it was the first person that I felt overwhelming, unconditional love for. And this person came up in my dream, and the more that the dream went on, I realized he's not actually this person, but this person represents Jesus. Because Jesus and God are unconditional love. They are love. So that is why this person came up to me in my dream, because they were trying to show me, like, this is what I want for everybody. This is what I want you to feel for everybody. This is who I am. So because of that, in my dream, at first it got confused, and my stepmom was in my dream and my brother was in my dream. And my stepmom kept on telling me, like, I was with this person the whole time in my dream. This person never left my side in my dream, not one time. And that keeps happening. This person, whoever you want to call it God, you want to call it Jesus, you want to call it angel, Holy Spirit, whatever you want to call it, it never leaves my side in any of these dreams. It's always there. And he was with me, and my stepmom kept on trying to split us apart. She was all like, it's not your wedding yet. You shouldn't be together yet. You shouldn't be together yet. You shouldn't be together yet. Wait till your wedding day. Wait till your wedding day. And it kept on getting reiterated. Wedding day, wedding day, wedding day. It's coming, it's coming. And I was like, in my dream, I'm fully aware of us getting married, and I'm fully aware of what's coming. And I'm fully aware that people don't want us to be together until we get married. And so I'm confused in my dream, because, like, why wouldn't I want to be with you now if we're going to get married? Like, screw what they say, we're going to find a way to be together. So we were walking, I can't even tell you where we were walking, but it looked so different than anything that any structure or any natural place or any man-made place I've ever seen. Like, it was completely natural, except that even with the stones on the ground, they came from nature. Like, nothing was really concrete. Nothing was anything really man-made. The lights were glowing, and I didn't see any light bulbs. I didn't really pay much attention to that, so whatever. But we were walking on a street, and the lights were on, and it was getting dark. And we were walking, and my brother he's around somewhere, and I tell my brother, come follow us, come trail behind us. So my brother is trailing behind us while we're talking, and my fiance in my dream, or the man I'm going to marry, asks me, have you prepared the pearl? And I look at him and I'm like, the pearl? And he said, the maid of honor. And I said, oh, yeah, of course I have. And we keep walking, and at the end of this road is like, it's kind of like a bed, but it's more like a cloud in that it's round and it's super fluffy. And he lays down on it, and as he lays down on it, I fall with him, and I just feel at peace. And then I still see my brother standing up, and I grab my brother's hand, and I said, come lay with us. Just come lay with us. Come be with us. Come just rest with us. Just be with us. Not in any type of perverted way. Just come be, So then I wake up from that dream, and it kept bothering me. What does that mean? I know that it means something, even though at the time I didn't know that it meant what it meant. I knew that it meant something, and I knew that it went with my other dream, and I knew that I needed to look it up. So I looked it up, and I was all like, what is a pearl in the Bible? What does a pearl mean in the Bible? And the book of Matthew popped up. Oh wait, no, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm sorry. I just looked. Sorry about that. Where was I? Anyway, I looked up. I think I looked. No, he said, have you prepared the Margaret? That's what he said in my dream. I'm sorry, I'm getting it confused because I had to look up what that meant. All these dreams running together is a little confusing for my human brain, but I'm trying to keep it intact so that I can relay it back to you. Anyways, so in the dream, when he was walking with me on the pathway, he said, have you prepared the Margaret? And I said, what's that? And he said, the bridesmaid. And I said, oh, okay, yeah, of course I have. So the next morning when I woke up, I looked up on Google, what is a Margaret? Because that is the way that it was said to me in my dream. Not Margaret, not as a proper noun, but as a common noun. Like it's a thing, like it's a thing, not a person. So I looked up what is a Margaret, and it popped up on my phone that Margaret means pearl. Like that is what the name Margaret means. So have you prepared the pearl is what it was saying. And I was like, okay, well, I'll figure out what that means later. Like, I'm not trying to worry about it anymore because I didn't understand. Then I pray about fasting, and I'm like, how long should I fast for? What should I do? Like, tell me where to go. Tell me what to do. And I'm asking with desperation, I need to know. I have to know. You have to tell me. And I will listen to whatever you have to say, but I have to know. And this is a reoccurring theme that happened in these dreams is before I dreamt it, I kept saying, I have to know. You have to tell me. You have to tell me what to do because I don't know on my own. I can't do this without you. So then I have my last dream. And this dream was a couple of days ago. I think it was Sunday or Monday. And today's Friday. So it was about 4 or 5 days ago, I think. And I lay down and I have this dream. I don't exactly remember everything that happened because dreams to me last for hours, even though it's just for a few minutes. And I had this dream that I'm underground and that there is people around me, but I don't see them. I just know that they're there. And that we're preparing to do a lot of work. And I'm eating we had just finished doing something for the day, and this person that I knew was my best friend in my dream. And he was talking, or we were sitting down with each other, and he was on my left side, and we were eating together. And then halfway through the meal, we just stopped eating. And then we start walking towards a tunnel underground. And as we're walking, he said, Matthew. And I look at him and I say, Matthew? He said, yeah, the book of Matthew. And I said, it clicked in my head. And I said, oh, okay. And I wake up immediately. So I grab, this is cool, by the way. I have to explain this to you before I finish what I'm saying. I have never in my life read front to back the Bible. I just haven't. I tried when I was younger, but it's I didn't understand it, and it was just words to me back then, so I never had the motivation to keep going because it just confused me. So I didn't have any idea what the book of Matthew was about. No clue at all whatsoever. The only thing that I know about the Bible, even as someone who believes in God, is that it is, all I knew about it is that it's like a guide, and I know a few verses. Like, I don't know it by the number. I just know it by, like, I think Philippians has one about how beautiful are the feet that walk on mountains to spread the gospel. I know John 16. I know certain little phrases and verses, but I don't know everything. I have never once read the whole thing, ever, 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 ever. I still haven't. I want to. I started to. On the first day that I had these dreams is when I started reading the Bible from the front. So when I had this dream saying Matthew, and he said, you know, the book of Matthew, I had even forgot that there was a book in the Bible called Matthew. So when I woke up, I immediately got up. I didn't remember exactly where I put the Bible, because the Bible isn't even mine. It's from a girl that my fiance had lived with a long time ago. Her name is irrelevant. I was about to say it, but it was her Bible. I had never even touched her Bible, other than, like, I had never flipped through it. I only touched it to move it. I immediately went to it on the bookcase. I took it down, not even sure that was it. I just had the feeling right there, get it. So I got it. I opened up to the book of Matthew, and I started reading. In the book of Matthew, it has stories about Jesus, how he was born, conceived, where his bloodline comes from, temptation because of the 40 days that he went without eating, fasting, right after I had prayed about fasting. It has a story in there about a pearl, and it has a story in there about bridesmaids. Okay? Pay attention. This is where it gets crazy. So the story about the bridesmaids talks about 10 bridesmaids. See, all 3 dreams came in. Also, real quick, for the past 2 years, I keep seeing the number 1022, 1022, 1022. I never knew what it meant. I thought that it was a date, like October 22nd. I thought that it was a time in the morning or night that something was going to happen. I didn't know what it meant until I read the book of Matthew. Matthew 10:22 says, they will hate you for my name, but those who endure will be rewarded, or will be something of that nature. Which is crazy, because I have been having a lot of struggles with spreading the word of God, because I know how people are going to look at me. I know what people are going to say. Oh, you're just a crazy Bible thumper. And it's not like that. It's not like that. And I wish that you could understand, because of how it's transformed everything about my life, and I don't know how any other way to explain it other than telling you my dreams and what's coming. Anyways, like, I have a sense of urgency. I have to tell you, because I asked for it to be told to me. So I have to tell you, or I'm failing, okay? 10:22, that's what that says. And then there is the parable of the pearl. And I think that that's Matthew 13 something. 13:45, 13:46, and it says that a merchant sold everything that he had to his name to buy a pearl, because he knew the value of the pearl. Margaret means pearl. In my dream, they said Margaret meant pearl. They asked me if I prepared the Margaret. Have I prepared the pearl? Have I prepared something of great value? I said yes. Okay, so keep in mind, the pearl is something of great value. Then, when I had the dream about, was it the same dream? No, the bridesmaids thing in that dream. There's a story called the parable of the bridesmaids in the book of Matthew. And the parable basically tells you that there were 10 bridesmaids. And 5 were foolish and 5 were wise. The foolish bridesmaids did not bring any extra oil for the lamps. And the wise bridesmaids brought extra oil for the lamps that they would carry to meet the groom. So they all walk into the hall, is what they said, I think, in the Bible. All 10 bridesmaids walk into the hall. And they fall asleep, and the groom is still not there, and and all of a sudden they get woken up with, the groom is here, the groom is here. So everybody wakes up and their lamps are not lit. The foolish bridesmaids' lamps are not lit. So they ask the other wise bridesmaids, can you give me any extra oil? Give me some of yours so that, the lamps will be lit. And the wise bridesmaids say, no, there will not be enough for both of us. Go get your own. So they go out. So the foolish bridesmaids go out and they buy extra oil, and they come back and the doors are already shut to the wedding hall, I guess, or to the wedding venue or whatever it is. See how this theme keeps on popping up, dream and book? I had no idea I didn't know these things were in the Bible, okay? Make no mistake about that. I had no idea. So the way that they overlap each other, the way that they go together, and I had no idea. My brain couldn't make it up by itself if it wanted to, okay? Sorry. I'm feeling it. Then, when the foolish bridesmaids come back, they're like, sir, let us in. And the groom says, I do not know you. And that hit me, because it says so many times in the Bible, they will say that they have, what did it say? I don't remember what book it is or what verse it is, but it says, they will come to me and say, Lord, Lord, have I not foreseen things? Have I not prophesied in your name? Have I not spoken to you? And the Lord will say, I do not know you. Okay, so this gets repeated in the Bible as well. So what I put together, like, if this is making any sense to you, great, but if I have to lay it out for you, I will. So we as humans are being prepared for a wedding, and Jesus, or the man I was going to marry in my dream, asked me if I had prepared the Margaret, aka the bridesmaids. I said yes. The bridesmaids are also people. They are people preparing us for a wedding, preparing the bridesmaids for the wedding, okay? If you have oil in your lamp or your soul, or you have the word of God in you, in here, in your soul, you will be allowed into heaven. But if you do not, you won't, because you don't know God, okay? So we're being prepared for a wedding, and this is basically like a homecoming. Like, the end of the world is coming, okay? That's what I get from all of this. The end of the world is coming. My first dream said, he is coming. My second dream says, have you prepared the Margaret? My third dream was, I stopped eating halfway through, and the book of Matthew. All of this comes together because both of those stories that I just told you about, the one about the merchant and the one about Matthew, the one about the bridesmaids is Matthew chapter 25. So look that up if you don't believe me. Matthew chapter 25, read it for yourself and then decipher it on your own. Ask God for guidance. Ask God to let you know what I know. Ask God to let you know what you need to know, what you need to say, what you need to do, because the whole thing about all of these dreams is I kept asking God, what do I need to do? And he told me that I need to prepare the Margaret. I need to prepare the pearl. The pearl is something of great value. The great value, the pearl, are the bridesmaids. The bridesmaids are of great value, and I need to prepare them, and we are all the bridesmaids. Make no mistake about it. It's us. We are the ones of great value. We are the ones that have to come to God. We are the ones that have to ask earnestly and believe earnestly, and he will give you what he needs to give you. I have had dreams like this, and I never, ever, ever put them together, but they are starting to come together. I've had dreams where I'm in a car with my sister, and we're driving to a town next to mine, and I see something falling out of the sky, and it hits the ground, and the second it hits the ground, there's this huge explosion, and black smoke starts to develop or envelop the entire earth, and we get caught in it. And in the Bible, it says that I'm not for sure, so don't take my word on this. You have to look it up for yourself. But I believe it says that the fifth angel, again, not sure, has the key to the pit of hell. And when the angel is sent down from heaven to earth and unlocks the pit of hell, there will be fire and smoke that comes from the pit that will block the sun and the sky. Never put that together, Because in that time, even though God was giving me these dreams and signs that the world is about to end, I didn't understand. And then I had a dream once about me. I was traveling really quickly, like with haste, very fast to this church. I didn't know that I was going to end up at a church in my dream. I just ended up there, and I knew that that was the building that I needed to go into, and it looked like a Catholic church, and it's really tiny, and I go inside, and my sister is there, and she's messing around with this bomb, saying there's a bomb, we have to disable this bomb, and I'm like, no, screw that, we have to let everyone know there is a bomb. And that is what my dreams have been telling me. I have to tell people it's coming. I have to tell people now, because we don't have enough fucking time. And I'm sorry that I keep cussing, but I have a sense of urgency. I have to tell you about everything that I've been seeing, because it's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be pretty at all, and a lot of us are not going to know how to handle it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to handle it, to be honest. But those of you who are lying and telling people that you are prophesying when it's false, and I think that I've done that before to just people, like I will tell them something and I exaggerate it. That's false. You have to tell them as it is. You can't exaggerate stuff. You have to do it the way that God intended you to do it. You have to do it the way you're told to do it. You can't just exaggerate things out of proportion so that people will find it interesting. You just have to do it the way that God says how to do it. Those of you who are lying, saying that the Bible says certain things that it actually doesn't. Those of you who are preaching, telling people false information, you are leading them down the wrong path, and they will not be prepared for what is coming. You have no idea. I'm talking about the entire freaking earth enveloped and engulfed in flames and smoke. You are not prepared for that, and it's not the kind of smoke and flames that you think it is. It's not. I don't even know if I understand correctly, but it's a lot darker and a lot more sinister than you've ever experienced. Forget any experience you've ever had. I've been through a lot of crazy dark stuff, but nothing compares to what I saw. I saw kids and people laying on the street dead. I saw mass graves. I saw people being burned in these mass graves until they dissolved into ash. I saw so much death. I saw destruction. I saw people coughing everywhere. I saw people being sick, and everybody was tired, and everybody didn't know what to do. You do not understand. If you're gonna turn to God, you have to do it now. Now, like right now. Like the second I said right now, like 5 minutes ago, you should have done it. You should have done it yesterday, okay? I'm gonna leave it at that. Do what you will with this, but do not spread misinformation. Do not deceive other people. If you want to deceive yourself, that's on you, but do not deceive anyone else, because you will be judged for that.